No warm-up today, so you have as much time as you need to work on the review for your test tomorrow. Here is the classwork and homework from yesterday. I'll zoom in to go problem by problem here. Number 1, there are your possibilities. The root that worked was 2 using synthetic division, which gave you the remainder of x squared plus 2x minus 15. So you're looking for factors of negative 15 that added up to 2, and that was negative 3 and 5. Remember, when you find the zeros, it becomes the opposite, so your answers are 2, 3, and negative 5 for your zeros. Number 2, the answers were negative 2 and plus or minus I times the square root of 7. The one that worked through synthetic division was negative 2. And then you ended up with x squared plus 7 equals 0. Subtract 7, take the square root. Because it's a negative, you do have to have I. And because you're taking the square root, you have to have the plus or minus sign. And again, remember, you can always pause if you need to take more time to check the work. Number 3 was the hardest one, and that was the one that involved the quadratic formula. Your roots were negative 1 and 3 plus or minus the square root of 33 over 2. Negative 1 was the one that worked in synthetic division. And then you had x squared minus 3x minus 6. Well, there aren't any factors of a 6 that can add up to 3, which is why it's not factorable. So we use the quadratic formula. And again, remember the inside part. You can type this directly into your calculator. It gave us a 33 because the negative here and the negative here turned into a positive. The 33 can't be broken down any smaller, so it stays 33. And then you just leave it as 3 plus or minus the square root of 33 over 2. Number 4, the answers were 1 and plus or minus the square root of 3. The 1 was from synthetic division, and then that left you with x squared minus 3, so you add 3 to both sides, and then when you take the square root of it, remember you have to put the plus or minus symbol in there. Number 5 was negative 2 and positive 7. The negative 2 was the one we found through synthetic, and it also showed up when you factored 2. So if you wrote it twice, that's fine, but you don't need to, because if it appears once, you don't need to write any other time. That would mean it has a multiplicity of 2, because it appears twice, but you don't need to write it twice. Number 6, your answers were negative 1, 8, and 1. You should have gotten the 1 from synthetic division. And then your leftover trinomial was the x squared plus 9x plus 8. Factors of 8 that add up to 9 are 8 and 1, which is why your answers are negative 8 and negative 1. Number 7, the answers were 2, 5, and 8. Number 2 should have been the one for synthetic division, which left you, let me scroll over to the right here. So 2 was an answer, which left you with x squared minus 13x plus 40. Factoring that gives you x minus 5 and x minus 8, which means your answers are a positive 5 and a positive 8. The very last one, number 8, your answers were negative 1, 6, and 7. Negative 1 is the one that came from synthetic division. And then your trinomial that was left was x squared minus 13x plus 42. The factors were negative 6 and negative 7, which means our answers are positive 6 and positive 7. The rest of class you have to work on your review. You can check the answers tonight on YouTube. Remember to look under my channel, go to the Algebra 2 playlist, and it's titled Chapter 3 Part 2 video. It's going to be the video at the very end of my list in the playlist. You can also go back and review any other lessons using that same playlist. They're all posted on there. So take your time on the review, do your best on it, use help as needed, and then check it all tonight for your homework.